As I'm recording this, last night was the California and New Jersey, among other states, primaries. It was the last Super Tuesday, and of course, the only place left now to vote is Washington, D.C. And I just wanted to talk about the speeches. And essentially, what I'm going to be talking about is in this video why Hillary Clinton will lose the general election. Now, I'm going to do this video, but I'm also going to do a Donald Trump video about why he will lose the general election. But I wanted to do this just because as I was listening to Hillary Clinton's speech last night, I was at work, so I was listening to it on my phone, which probably not a good thing, probably not okay, but it was momentous, so I had to do it because for me, as you guys know from doing these videos, I am a bit of a political junkie and I do like to pay attention to these things. So I was listening to her speech and it was boring. Only thing she really had going for her was how momentous the occasion was, her being the first nominee for a major party, the first female nominee of a major political party. And that is momentous. That is a big deal. That's, something she can really be proud of. Of course, we still have the convention to look forward to, and barring an indictment, I don't see anything really changing. That's just my opinion. I hope something does change and Bernie Sanders does become the nominee. That being said, I don't see it happening. Um, but all of that said, the speech again was boring because there was nothing else there. It was generally what we've heard before, besides the momentous occasion part. Her attacks against Donald Trump were, for the most part, what we've heard before in her quote unquote national security speech. And they're good attacks, but they seem rehearsed. They're not off the cuff. Tell us how you really feel about Donald Trump, not what you've poll tested and what are they, focus grouped. Tell us, how you really feel, what you really think. Just be real with us. And as I was listening to the speech, and mind you, I am working while I'm doing this, so I'm constantly moving, and I easily was losing interest. Thankfully, TYT, I was listening to it through TYT, so they were keeping me, somewhat into it because they were cracking jokes and um, having a good time generally with it. And that's sad that as you're giving a, speech for a very momentous occasion, that people are tuning you out because you aren't really grabbing their attention. You aren't sounding interesting. You're just boring. And that's Hillary Clinton's major problem, amongst other things. She's got to really learn how to excite people. Otherwise, Donald Trump will run circles around her with his populist message. Now, it is a racist and ugly and bigoted message, although there are some good parts of it. But then again, we don't know what he would actually do. But that's for my other video. So this also goes into what I heard Al Sharpton say not too long ago, that Hillary Clinton needs to stop acting like this is the typical boxing match. And I'm paraphrasing what he says. She needs to start thinking of this as a street fight. It's, unpredictable, it's dirty, it's nasty, and she's got to be willing to get down and dirty in that mud, and she's got to be willing to be unpredictable. As of late, she's still running the same typical strategized political campaign, presidential campaign. And that's not going to work against Donald Trump. We've seen what happens when a candidate runs that kind of campaign against Donald Trump. We've seen another establishment person, such as Jeb Bush, who was very establishment. The establishment picked him as their winner. But of course, he was low energy. He was uninteresting. He was boring. A lot of the same problems that Hillary Clinton has, Jeb Bush has. Somehow she was able to garner enough votes, but again, that's mainly because the people who have been with the Democratic Party for the longest time, they fell in line behind her because she's been around. She's a known figure. So they were with her. They weren't really with her policies. Maybe they are. I've seen numerous videos where they can't even name her policies or talk about her policies, but they were definitely with her. But for the rest of us, she's not exciting because she doesn't really have any interesting viewpoints or any interesting policies. And when she goes out to stump, it's boring and it's rehearsed. And until she's able to just go out and give a speech and just be off the cuff like Bernie Sanders. Now you can argue Bernie Sanders isn't really off the cuff because he gives pretty much the same speech no matter where he's at. But for him, that is off the cuff when he throws in a few lines that may be new. But also, that's the same speech he's been giving for years upon years upon years. You know, in his heart of hearts, he believes that message. And that's why so many people gravitated towards him, because you knew that what he was saying and the reason why he said it, no matter where he went, no matter what time of day it was, and you know that he's been saying the same thing for so long that you can't help but get excited because he means what he says. And you know it's coming from his heart, not from a focus group and not from some speechwriters. And Hillary Clinton has really got to shake off that rehearsed establishment focus grouped politician, because that is going to be her undoing. In a time where people are against the establishment and against what we know as politicians, she will lose a lot of people for doing exactly what people are against right now. And I just, this is just how I feel. Let me know down in the comments if you feel the same way. But I don't know if I don't want her to win. I am a Bernie or bust person. I will either write in Bernie or vote for Jill Stein in the general election. But that being said, Hillary Clinton in some ways, very small ways, is better than Donald Trump. And if she doesn't change up her strategy, if she doesn't start being more off the cuff and real with her people and start stumping, you know, like a Bernie Sanders or a Obama or even a Bill, you know, she will lose this election, because that is not what the people really want. That's just my opinion. But peace out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace.